5:55 p.m., April 22nd, 2025. We are at the Merriam Community Center for the Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting.
I'm sorry, that's.
Yeah, Billy.
I
Left you a honeybee there.
Thank you.
Are you right-handed? So that's good.
Yep.
Or not good. I mean, either way, I guess it's just how you wanna look at that. Good or not good.
We've all had injuries in our past lives, for sure. Girsole, which is Italian for sunflower.
It's also Spanish for sunflower. Girasol.
Yeah. Very related language. So Kathy's not gonna be here.
Katie.
Or Katie, I'm sorry, Kathy.
I
The,
knew what you meant.
yeah, thank you. That is so far.
So far, everybody, that was the first person to tell me they weren't available.
So, maybe,
David, Alex,
the trail was very clean.
I heard.
It's cleaner.
Cleaner, it is cleaner now. Hey, Alex.
Hey, how's everybody?
Good. There's a honeybee there for you.
That's adorable.
The white ones from Girsole are also vegan friendly. With reds, they use egg white binding to clarify them, so they don't have to do that in the whites, or they don't do it in the whites.
What happened to your kid?
They are, they're
Oh,
$15,
no.
$16.
Then he
also,
gets
so
five?
they're Well pressed, every day,
Not
breakfast, lunch, and
good,
dinner.
not good. I bet it did not feel good. Was that at your guys' tournament or has that happened yet?
No. What?
Is that a
Is North had their tournament yet?
No, I'm for, Hope Lutheran, so I'm not.
Oh, gotcha, yeah, sorry.
Is anybody here associated with Troop 247 Boy Scouts in Merriam? No, okay.
You're shaking your head like you are.
I was gonna say, they do a mean pancake breakfast at the 5K.
A mean.
A mean pancake.
Okay.
Hi, how are you? Good, how are you?
Hello.
Good, come in, have a seat.
Okay, so bring our meeting together to order. Are we good to go?
Looks like it.
Thank you, Dan. Okay, public comment?
So we have Angela here with the Girl Scouts, so they have their annual
yes.
proposal, so we'll start with her since she's on the agenda.
Okay.
Hi, thanks for giving me a minute to talk to y'all. Brought you some Girl Scout cookies, of course.
Approved.
10 minutes.
I'm not signing up at all, I promise. So I'm with a Girl Scout event called Owl Prowl that we've done here for the past 3 years. It is an all volunteer led event, so those of Scouts running it are not getting paid, and we don't make any profit off of it, it's just for the girls. It is an overnight event, some of you know. So we have 4th through 12th grade Girl Scouts that are invited. Our 7th through 12th grade girls will brainstorm, come up with an activity. They will budget for the materials they need, plan that activity. In addition to the event, we get together with them here about a month ahead of time and train them on working with younger girls. And they come up with all kinds of amazing creative activities. So they really learn a lot of leadership skills is what we're really hoping they get out of that. Then the younger girls, they get to come, they get the freedom to roam the facility the whole night. They get to enjoy the activities led by the teams. So for some of those girls, it's the first real taste of independence that they get. They are paired with a buddy, so they also learn compromise, working with their buddy. They all get an hour-long swim session, which is their favorite. They also learn time management. They have to be on time for their swim session. We charge them $30 a girl, and my goal as the director is to keep it as that as long as I can. We do have a lot of families that have 2 or 3 girls that they're sending, so we try and keep that cost down. We use these rooms over here to feed them all night long, so they just have a blast. And so we're just requesting the residential rate so we can try and keep that $30 where it is. Every bit of money, whether we get the residential rate or not, that we charge them, we spend on them for the event, so that we can just make it as awesome as possible. Do you have any questions? Yeah?
So these are girls from around the region, mostly Johnson
So,
County, or?
So our council goes all the way to Topeka, to St. Joseph, Paola.
Just Midland Empire?
What?
Midland Empire?
No, the council is Girl Scouts of Northeast Kansas and Northwest Missouri.
Okay.
So we go all the way out to Green Valley.
Okay.
So, and we get girls from all over
Okay.
the place. We do have some troops right here in Merriam, one of our teen troops. So it's always fun to see what they come up with. And yeah, we even have some people who will come and then get a hotel room, because the event ends at 5 in the morning, so they don't have to drive all the way back to Topeka or something. And we get a lot of feedback about how much they love this facility. So we wanna stay here. The staff is amazing. Every year they are just so helpful. We love them working with Ann and Lisa and Dave. They're just very open to helping us make it the best we can, so appreciate that as well.
I have former in-laws that were involved in Girl Scouts in St. Joe,
Okay.
long time ago. Any other questions?
What's participation been in the past?
So this past January, we had total people in the building was around 750. There were about 550 of those were Girl Scouts. And then we have lots of adults to stay and chaperone. We have every single door monitored so girls can't leave.
What's your ratio of adults to girls?
We usually ask that it's about 2 to 10.
Okay.
And that's probably about what it ends up being. Yeah, we actually had to turn adults away because they have fun, even though they're just here chaperoning. We don't provide activities for them. They just enjoy the atmosphere and the energy, so we had to turn some away.
You don't keep adults busy, they get in trouble.
Well, they like their snack room that we have. I did get some feedback asking us to have some adult yoga. I don't know how relaxing it's gonna be, but.
Besides possibly yoga, any other changes or mix-ups, or not mix-ups, but, changes to, what you plan on doing?
For next year?
Yeah.
So So I haven't reserved this room in the past, but I am going to hopefully reserve this room next year. We might use it for an activity for the teens, or we're kind of thinking of maybe having a quiet room, cause it is crazy. We have a DJ going all night long, one of our teen troops DJs. And sometimes the girls get, well, you know, can get a little overwhelmed with the noise and the energy, so, that's another thing we're thinking about, just throwing some pillows on the floor and having some books or puzzles or something.
That's good.
We're also looking at how some of the rooms are utilized, in the meeting rooms. It's not gonna change the rental of the rooms, but we're just talking about how we could utilize the rooms more efficiently to
Sure.
achieve some of the things that they want to have done, so. While it would be a change to the rental, it would just be a change to the operation of the event.
Anybody else? Okay, so based on the,
As a reminder, I just wanna remind everybody, this is a 2-meeting process, so.
okay,
Just, next time, we will move it to new business. This gives you guys a chance to review the materials a little bit more, think about other questions, think about the questions that were asked tonight, and determine if there's other questions. I'll come back next month under new business with a memo kind of outlining other things.
hopefully we get more Thin Mints. Anyway.
That was my last box.
Oh.
Cookie season's over.
Shortbreads are good too.
Remember that next year.
Okay, great, thanks very much.
Alrighty, thank you guys so much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks, Anna.
Not a problem. I saw where you were going with it.
Yeah, that's okay, that's okay.
Stop it quickly.
Pump the brakes.
That's
All
okay.
right. Good night.
All right, thank you. Anybody wanna open up those opinions?
I was thinking we could offer them to staff as a gesture of recognition and appreciation from this board for their service to the community center.
Excellent idea.
That's just one person.
I'll vote in favor of that.
All right, approval of the minutes.
You need to make sure Billy doesn't
Oh.
have.
I already asked him, I thought he said no.
I didn't have anything. to say.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
That's okay.
I apologize.
No, that's okay. Thank you, Billy. Next time, I'm sure. Okay, if you've had a chance to review the minutes from the last meeting, any comments, or can I have a motion for somebody to approve?
I move to approve the minutes from the, March 25th meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes, motion passes. Okay, director.
First of all, David, that's yours. You're the only one that needs to get one of those.
Swag.
Yeah, that's a swag.
You got a honeybee and.
And a towel. I just want, it was sitting on my lap and I'm like, I need to get this off here. All right, so, as always, there was a detailed memo included in your packet. There are some updates to the information that I'd like to share. The first being an update on the art committee. They met on April 10th and, discussed supporting the Parade of Hearts again this year. The location being discussed is the Merriam Visitors Bureau. So we'll see more information on that as the Parade of Hearts starts to roll out, but I wanted to share that piece. In addition, the semifinalists for the parking structure project presented their design and concept to the committee. After discussion, the winning presentation was the Miller Groves Collective. The committee appreciated their unconventional approach and their ideas of hosting community workshops to bring art to the masses in a hands-on way. References assured staff that Miller Groves would work collaboratively to solve problems, meet requirements, and navigate bureaucracy. The Miller Groves Collective also received the most enthusiastic and positive feedback from the community. So they are moving forward with that recommendation from the art committee to city council and moving through that process. Another update just happened on Monday. During the storms that occurred over the weekend, there was a 24-foot section of barrier fence along the Streamway Trail between 67th Street and Shawnee Mission Parkway that blew over. A user of the trail notified staff. Staff contacted Public Works and worked together and removed that section very quickly to the side of the trail. They just have removed it, they haven't done the repairs, this is large item pickup week, so Public Works is quite busy with large item pickup. But the citizen commended staff for their quick response to get that, off and safely addressed. Cause I think he was, like, either he looped back
Yeah, he
or.
was on the trail.
Yeah, it was kind of a fun opportunity to show our staff in action that quickly, so. Those are the updates I have, to the, community center and park update. Be happy to answer any questions that you might have on the information that was included in the memo, or if there's other things that you'd like to discuss.
I apologize for missing the last meeting, but, the IKEA, message, I don't know if that was maybe last meeting, but, yeah, can you give me?
Oh, the update?
Yeah, what's going on?
So
with that?
we finally have gotten kind of through that process of working with IKEA for a collaborative, approach with their friends and family discount. We just kind of stalled for a little bit, they have a new person, and I wanted to make sure that if we're moving forward with an agreement, it's an equal agreement, that they're promoting it, as well as, you know, we have a responsibility to that agreement as well. So anyone with an IKEA friends and family discount card can present that, and they get, resident rate to enter the
Are
facility.
those Merriam residents?
They can be anybody.
Okay.
They can be anybody with an IKEA friends and family discount.
And then does IKEA pick up some of the costs?
No, they do not. It's just, they then promote it's a collaboration to promote our events with them. So, we've done this off and on periodically throughout the time. Last year, nobody utilized it. So, we're like, we have a new person working with IKEA, so we're like, let's see if they can maybe promote this. The idea is that people that come here, cause IKEA is kind of a pilgrimage in a way, there aren't very many, and so people travel here, and the thought is that people that travel from outside the metropolitan area would come here and utilize the benefit. Similar to our hotels, if you stay in one of our hotels and present a hotel key, you get the resident rate.
So does IKEA publicize it in their building then?
It's supposed to be publicized on their newsletters that go out per store. So you have to read the newsletter, you have to be keyed into it, you have to present the card. I mean, there's several things on the side of visitors that they have to do to get the benefit.
So they don't present it in the store.
They have to come here and present their friends and family key fob.
I mean, the promotion, IKEA.
Yeah, it's not promoted within the store itself.
I guess in terms of the agreement, or that you're coming to, if we start seeing like that, you know, used or sort of, you know, too widely, you know, can that end? Do we have
Yes, we have an out, we do. But like I said, it wasn't utilized.
Yeah, but.
It doesn't cost
I
us.
could
Yeah.
see somehow it getting out and, you know, again, you know, certain
Right.
other people, you know, abusing, you know,
Right.
that, and, you know, we have an awesome community center here, and just concerned that, you know, give our residents the, you know, the rate, and it's not been, you know, all of, you know.
We had brought the idea back to park board, before we pursued it, to have a discussion.
Yeah.
And at that meeting, when it was discussed that we should proceed with it, so, we did it after seeking guidance, but I understand your concern.
Yeah, okay.
Okay? Any other questions or comments before we move on?
So, once there is an agreement, will that then be presented back to the board?
No,
Okay.
it just moves forward.
Okay.
Anything else?
I know we've been creative a couple times with some of the graffiti stuff in the parks. I saw in the update, the addressing at Brown Park. What product is it that's able to go over the like spray paint and stuff that they do? And can you do multiple layers, like if they come back and are jerks
Yes.
again?
Yeah, we can.
So-
You can.
Yeah, absolutely. So this week I went out, just yesterday actually, and I went with fun shapes, and we went over the graffiti, and there was a young family when I was there, and so it was hoped to be kind of like a game. So there are 5 different shapes. So we have a cluster where there's 1 shape, 2 shapes, 3 shapes, 4 shapes, 5 shapes, so that it makes it kind of fun. But yeah, we're kind of combating spray paint with spray paint. So if they came over, and it'll be one of those things where if they tag the fun shapes that it just put down, we would just, we now have stencils, so we would just throw the
Nice.
stencil down. It's, yeah, it'd be paint over paint basically, but,
I wonder if that graffiti spray would work.
well, unfortunately, because it's poured in place, it's a very porous, soft surface, and which is, it's a polymer that has a glue to it, so we don't want to put anything chemically down that would change the structure of that, because, fall continuations, if a child were to fall, we don't want to change or alter how it impacts, the ground. So we're very limited in on what we can, basically just hot soapy water. I mean, it's very limited on what we can do to clean it. And we actually tried to clean it, and we just weren't very successful. And then the other thing, if we were to cut out the section,
I'm sure
for
we've
like
seen-
one graffiti is the size of half this table. So to repair a section like that would be $5,000. It's extremely expensive. So we're gonna try this. We'll see if it works, and hopefully it won't be.
That was in Brown Park.
It was brown, yeah.
And we had
And
it
this-
at another park before, right? Didn't we have it at two?
Not on the safety
Oh,
surface.
okay.
Yes,
We were
not on
just-
the
you're right.
safety surface, yeah. So that we can use the graffiti remover, and sorry, Anna. I didn't
Yeah,
mean
no,
to-
you're okay.
Yeah, we can take, if it's not on the safety surface, yes, we can just remove it, easy peasy, but once on the safety surface, that's where it's a little harder
I think it's a good solution.
to.
I appreciate it as a mom.
Yeah.
Maybe we could build a wall, tell them to have at it, and then call it outdoor art.
Yeah.
The only problem with that is then you
As long
have
as there's
to.
no profanity.
Well, this time there wasn't, it was, I would say it was more of a political statement.
Oh,
maybe,
really?
but,
Okay.
So the good news is it wasn't,
Okay.
inappropriate, or it wasn't negative in that respect, but it's a shame, and I just don't think those people realized how expensive of a damage that was, to that surface, because the surface itself of that is probably about $50,000, to put that down, so it's expensive stuff.
That's okay. Any other questions about the update? All right, we're gonna move into our comparison reports, just to show you where we're at for the year. I don't really have, you can see that's 25 comparative to where we're at to date to where we were at in previous years, and then this is the actual month over month. So I don't really have anything to add to this, but I'm open to any questions if there's any questions about the membership itself. Okay. As a reminder, I'll say this again. What we look at is that your cancellations are 50% of your in. So if you have, obviously we're doing very well from a cancellation standpoint. So that is a trend that you'll see, is that typically gyms see 50% cancel, and then they're doing 50% more than that, so.
Is there any typical reason for cancellations?
As I've outlined it before, we give them 5 options, and it kind of varies throughout the month. Usually it's non-usage. They have a great intention.
Right.
That's usually the biggest. We've seen financial uptick by 1 or 2, but it's not anywhere. When we're getting 34 or 35 cancellations, it might be 2.
Yeah, okay.
And relocation is the other one.
Relocation, I was gonna say.
So it's usually non-usage relocation.
Okay.
And then other. Medical and financial are the lowest too. All right, membership comparison, obviously we beat March, that's always a good sign. I did look to see where we're at for April, and I'd like to give you an update of that. April membership is averaging about 354 visits per day. That's 12 visits less than 2024. But membership sales are still good and improving, so it's not uncommon to see member visitation fluctuate during great weather, because people do prefer to go outside than come indoors. So they're just we feel that people are just probably taking advantage of the great weather days, cause I would much rather be outside.
Do people come in and not scan in?
No,
No.
You watch it?
yeah,
Yes.
we stop,
Cause that scanner's not very
it depends.
obvious, I don't think.
Yeah, but we train people
Okay.
of that, when they come in, we let them know this is where you check in every time, you know, and just everybody, I should say, staff's goal is that when someone walks in the door, they're getting greeted. Unless we're completely swamped, our goal is to greet everyone so that they know they're welcome and they come to us. Even if they don't know what to do, they learn quickly what to do. Okay?
And front desk is a one-point entry for security, so they all come in, so we see them come in and acknowledge them so that they know that we know they're here, you know, for whatever reason.
So, and then daily visitation for April is averaging 49 visits per day, which is an increase of 3 visits per day over 2024. So that's exciting that still goes, cause that's money every visit. So $9, $11, $7 per visit. And then April revenue is anticipated to meet or exceed April 2024 revenue based on where we're at, for the month. So obviously things could fluctuate between now and then, but where we're at right now, it looks like we should trend to the positive. So happy to answer any questions about those reports. All right, seeing none. As typical for this time of year, we usually do a little summer promotion to kind of raise awareness that we're here. It's still amazing on a daily basis how many people are like, huh, how long have you been here? 5 years, just 5 years. But COVID did kind of stall us for a year and a half, so we recognize that, you know, sometimes you're just kind of maybe getting out. So this is the postcard that we worked with our graphic design team to create. So we've got a variety of pictures on the front and then verbiage on the back about what we have to offer, promoting membership rates again, but giving them a buy one, get one free opportunity, so that they can, for a household, you can buy 3, get 3 free. So that's the logic behind why it's up for 3 free. And then the other nice thing is, so that you know, is that this coupon right here nicely falls over the address. So when we collect a postcard, at the end, we thank them for coming in and remind them of the membership opportunities. And then we track to see who comes in. And we usually get a couple memberships out of it every year. So it's well worth the promotional opportunity that it provides. So the goal of this is to work with the mail house. We have a new rep at the mail house, so it's a little bit more challenging this year to kind of worked with the same person for 12 years. So you're kind of spoiled. Now I'm educating someone else of our process. But our goal is to mail about 10,000 and to be in mailboxes the week of Memorial Day is the goal. Any questions about that promotion or what we're offering?
Do you have a gut sensation of how many people you think will take advantage of that 10,000?
Usually about 10%. That's goal. So the other side of it is that there are people that'll come in like, man, we got that postcard. So sometimes it just drives foot traffic just to check us out. They might not redeem it, but it's good to have.
Puts it in their mind.
It puts it in their mind.
Your name is out there.
Yeah. Yes, Tyson.
How many of that 10% is like people that become future members?
So out of that 10%, we'll send letters out, and I would say we get 3 or 4 memberships a year from that come back in. So if the mailing, if you look at 4 memberships, if they're non-residents, that's $800 per membership, so it's $3,200. So, it offsets the cost of the mailing usually. As well as doesn't take into consideration how many day passes we then sell either. So usually it breaks even across the board. So like to see it do a little bit better, but we'll see what happens this year. I have a feeling a lot of people will be staying close to home this summer. Any questions about that one? So my favorite part is the Q1 financial update. I love to share numbers.
You know that about you.
You know that about me, I know, I love numbers, numbers tell a story, I hate to say that, but they do. So, just as a reminder, staff creates these based on reports out of our financial documents, so, finance provides those numbers through that. I mean, their job is to make sure they get accounted correctly, but this is something that I put together for you guys. So at 25% through the year, our actual expenses are 19% of the budget, indicating over what you could call underspending, if you'd like to look at it that way. There are 5 budget lines that are over the 25% mark. They include group insurance, unemployment tax, workers' compensation, other contractual services, and repair and maintenance services. Of these, only the contractor services and the repair and maintenance are directly managed by staff. Obviously, we control, the other things are just things that are part of benefits that are what they are from that standpoint because of what we've negotiated with our providers from there. Notably, several first quarter costs such as annual permits and the scheduled UV bulb replacement for sanitation have contributed to that front loading of expenses in those 2 lines. So usually at the first of the year, all those permits and renewals of licenses happen, so that makes it look like we've overspent for the quarter, but they've all been budgeted expenses, including the UV bulb replacement. There have been no surprise expenditures to date. Revenue performance, we'll get to that. Slide down here real quick. Revenue performance continues to be strong. Overall, we're at 27.4% of budgeted revenues that have already been realized. There are 7 lines that are below the 25% mark. Most are tied to summer programs, summer memberships, swim team, concession cart. We haven't even opened those programs up for the season, so we expect those to trend upward, obviously. The other remaining underperforming lines, adult education, adult league, youth fitness, and vending machine, if you look at those from a total budget perspective, they're only 2.1% of our overall budget, like $33,000 in total. So for those to be underperforming, it's likely a timing thing, but we are seeing several new programs that will kick off in May, and then this summer, so we're hoping to see those lines pick up and with the remainder of the year. And then lastly, just to overall, compared to 2024, the most significant increases that we're seeing in expenses are salaries and benefits, everybody got a raise, and utility services. While revenues have grown mostly in annual membership, day passes, water fitness, and small group fitness, cost recovery is still slightly below last year's rate, but remains on track to meet our goal of 66% cost recovery by the end of the year. So, Q1, not a lot, just a snippet of information, but it's a good sign. Any questions about money?
What's the fleet vehicle?
That's our truck.
Oh, okay.
It's a fleet vehicle.
Yeah.
It's literally one.
One of one.
But that includes the truck, not only the truck, but it's maintenance, gas, those types of fun things, so it's all combined. So yes, they classify it as that because other departments have more than one vehicle in the fleet, but we only have one.
You need to sell more merchandise.
Yeah, maybe.
Hopefully you don't inventory it.
No, not really. Any other questions for me? That concludes everything that I have tonight.
Okay. First, program evaluation that was in your packet was Brunch with the Bunny. Another sold out event, another great event. I thought it was interesting that we had some people on the waiting list, so staff even tried to be kind of proactive and remind people that if for whatever reason you can't make the event, please let us know, because we have people that would love to go in your place. And we ended up with 8 people, a total of 8 people, a couple different groups, that did not make it for whatever reason, which, that is fine, they paid, but I know staff wants to have as many people. We have a maximum number of people, and we'd like to serve that maximum number of people, so, yeah, good event. Any questions about Brunch with the Bunny?
You're
We
going
have a
back
new-
on who's going to cook?
Yes, we talked about maybe possibly talk to the Boy Scouts that do the 5K pancake breakfast and see if they might want to help out, rather than having a professional pancake caterer. So I don't know how that'll be something we'll explore for next year.
Bill, you have a question?
Yeah, how's the maximum capacity determined for that event? If mo-
It's basically the tables that we have, and the number of people that we can serve.
Plus, in addition to the activities that happen in the room, there's a crafts section, the caterer serves out in the room, so you start limiting what your floor space is and how many tables you can have and people being able to move throughout the room.
Okay.
How early did it sell out?
Oh, gosh,
Couple weeks in
a
advance.
couple weeks in advance.
And they look at maybe expanding, in the future, if it's selling out that fast?
Well, you would have to go to like another, like almost another session, so like you have an early morning session and then maybe possibly a second session. That would be the only other way we could expand. It's as big as, our founder's room is only so big, so yeah. That would be the only other option I see. It would give a whole new meaning to the word flip the room.
It took us 45 minutes to flip it for an event that was rented afterwards, and because of pancakes and sausage and
Yeah,
syrup.
syrup. Let's call your attention to our one lone volunteer, was Stephen Slocum. I don't know if he was voluntold to volunteer, but he was there.
Selected volunteer.
Yes,
I think he made up for me, yeah, I ended up getting sick at the last second.
Well, I was scheduled to, I couldn't come.
Yeah, that's all right.
He was voluntold because we had something else to do.
Yeah. Exactly. A little bit on upcoming events. First one we had was Superhero Day. Unfortunately, that has been canceled. We did not have enough interest, so we'll rethink that for the future. It's a Monday night from 4 to 6, so I don't know if the date has anything to do with it, but unfortunately we had to cancel that one. Second one is the next art gallery opening. It is Through the Lens, and it's a group of 9 photographers, so this is kind of a group show, so it should be really good. And we're looking forward to that. That opening is May 1st.
Same photographers as the other one earlier in the year?
No,
No.
totally different, yes, yeah, totally different. In fact, this was, the 9 photographers, I think, were grouped in, or had the group selected them to be part of the show, so there was a selection process involved. So it should be very, very good. Then number 3, farmer's market flyer. Our farmer's market is ready to open first Saturday in May. We are starting a new time. It's 8 a.m. versus 7 a.m. So I'll be curious to see how that works out. I'm sure it will be great. And so remember, the first day of opening day is our giveaway, where we have a shopping bag, reusable shopping bag that we give away. And then also new this year is a car air freshener. So we'll have 2 giveaways for opening day.
Does it smell like carrots or?
I don't know. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I don't,
Or
probably
30 minutes.
not, but yeah, we thought, what a fun way to, if it's in your car and it's Saturday morning, you're like, oh yeah, Merriam Farmers Market, let's go to the farmers market, so. All right, fun. Fourth upcoming event is Turkey Creek 5K. I brought some show and tell. This is a runner's fanny pack that we're going to be giving away to the runners. Currently we have about 60 that are registered. We have an early bird registration that ends at the end of this month. So starting May 1, they pay $10 more. So usually we'll see an uptick in registration for those folks that want to save a little bit of money. We did get some good news that East Antioch Elementary School is going to be back, and we love their running clubs because they'll bring, I think 56 runners is what they brought last year. So it's a lot of fun to see those kids run. They're basically using our run as an end of the season run. They've been running at their school all year long, and this is kind of a celebratory race to run. So it's a lot of fun. I like to see the kids running and they have a good time.
How's Renee doing for volunteers? Do you have any idea? Because I originally
We
had
got
something.
an email, it was full.
I think we're full.
Oh, you are, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I actually have, I actually have two, but it is a race.
I mean, not just for this, but I mean for the whole event.
Yeah, I think Renee is full, yeah.
Okay, just checking.
And then the last one, well, nice segue into the festival. There's a festival flyer that Renee put out. And so we're looking for, hopefully, cross your fingers for some good weather. We've got some good music planned and should be a lot of fun.
You said you do still need some volunteer spots, or
I think we're
you're
full.
done too?
We are full for the
Okay.
festival, yeah.
Yeah, we're full on all fronts.
That's all I had. If anybody has any questions.
Anybody? New business, anybody? Slightly old business. Other business?
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Okay. Shall we adjourn? All in favor?
Aye. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for the meeting.
You're welcome. I participated in the very first
Oh, yeah.
It'd be 5 years ago today.
Oh my.
There might be an open first one for golf cart.
Golf cart.
Yes,
For Turkey
yeah.
Creek in Merriam.
Check with Renee on that.
Okay.
I signed up for 4 hours.
Good luck with
She said
your
if it
rest.
was covered
Good luck
up to
with
2 hours,
your-
that's fine. I just
Bye,
wanted to make
Tyson.
sure she had some coverage.
Joe, did you hear him say you got spiked too?
Yeah. That's.
Oh, yeah, I did, yes, that's
Oh.
some balloon.
Thank you.
Enjoy your honeybees.
Well.
Actually,
There-
I'm gonna reach under you for that trash can, sorry.
They're iron on,
Enjoy your
right?
towel.
I mean,
I
it's
should
actually
stuff
set
on
precedent here
it.
by getting
Yeah.
My daughter is gonna look
No,
so
it's
excited
good.
now when
Yeah.
she goes to swim
It's
class.
good.
George, they're iron on, is that right?
No, stick on,
Stick on.
sorry.
Oh, okay.
I guess you can iron them if you want to.
It's good to know.
I would not.
Was this from like a Save the Bees event? Or?
No, it's the logo for one of my wineries, actually.
Oh, okay. So,
They're
out of
just
Erie?
certified organic.
Oh,
Have you heard of Cadillac Ranch by chance?
No,
It is an art installation.
there's a jillion of them.
Oh, you've heard of them?
No, I have not.
Oh, it's
Where is it?
It's outside of Amarillo, Texas.
Oh,
Maybe 20 miles to the west of it.
in fact, I was in the Frederickson area and did a couple of wineries in, whatever it was, November, I think, last year.
Yeah.
And a couple of distilleries. But, it's what they call the wine trail or something or other,
Yeah.
around Frederickson.
Cadillac Ranch isn't a winery. It's an art installation.
Oh, really?
It's an interactive thing. Like there's like a couple food trucks and a spray paint truck, and you're encouraged to pick a
Oh.
Cadillac and spray paint it.
Oh,
And
I
so
mean,
on a road trip, we went there. I'm not supposing we put Cadillacs in.
It's kind of like Carhenge in
Park.
Nebraska.
Yeah, kind of Carhenge, yeah. But it's an interactive art thing where like random strangers, and yeah, sometimes people put stupid things, but whatever, it's gonna be gone in the day.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, cover it. But it's beautiful, and it's been there for decades.
I mean,
now.
some graffiti can look quite good.
Yeah.
It just depends on where it is, as opposed to being public vandalism,
There's a restaurant downtown. I went to like the opening morning of it. It's called. And it's some like breakfast restaurant where they also serve liquor. So, but
Downtown Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah, it's on Broadway maybe, I don't know, but like they the day they opened.
Snooze?
Snooze.
Yeah,
Snooze AM Eatery, yes.
Yeah.
The day they opened, their trash container thing was vandalized. I thought that was art. It actually looked.
Some of them could look really good.
It looked nice
it's
than
like,
just blank.
if you
metal.
sit at a railroad crossing, you watch cars go by, some
Yeah.
of it's pretty good and some of it's kind of
It's
crappy.
entertainment.
Yeah.
Anyways, have a nice one. was the Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting.